Hey there, and welcome back for another one. All right, where are we for this adventure? Well, as you see behind me, we've got some winter gear. Ooh, winter gear. We are out here in Tennessee Pass, just north of Leadville, Colorado. We're gonna be hiking in towards a gulch area, and we're gonna be hoping for enough snow that we can actually make some snow shelters. But we are pulling some gear sleds. I made some DIY ones at home. We're gonna test them out, see if they work, snowshoeing in. We got John with us. Yeah. And then we've also got Greg. You remember Greg? He's been on quite a few adventures with us now. He's not doing the gear sled, he's just got a hefty pack. But he's also the one who's actually got more experience doing this. So, you know, we're gonna play it by ear. We're figuring out gear, and this is step one to a multi-step thing in the future. But yeah, time to have fun. My head puts off so much heat, I already had to ditch the beanie. I was sweating. So we're not going too far in. However, part of what we are hitting is actually the CDT. I think I've done more little sections of the CDT now that I have after my attempt at the New Mexico portion. Go figure. But this portion has a Continental Divide Trail hut that we're passing currently. And it looks like somebody has got the same idea as us for this weekend. They built themselves a little snow cave. Winter sports, yeah. Okay, we have made it to where we have decided we're going to find/make camp. And I am saying make because we are in about a meter deep of snow, and we are gonna make our own snow shelters and kitchen in the whole 9 yards. I'm pretty excited for this. I've never done it before. I've been wanting to learn it for a long time. Greg has experience in it, so he'll be helping teach us today. But the sleds also held up pretty well. John tripped a couple times. He had his sled kind of flipped over at one point. I had to fix it for him behind. I didn't flip mine though. Mine was pretty good. But for DIY, makeshift harnesses and everything else, it turned out pretty great. Yeah?
Yeah, no, that trail just got a little thin and started hitting the wall with the sled.
It's a good thing I upgraded our sleds to a higher wall sled, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So, Greg's got his snow measuring stick here. It's already sticking out. He's thinking we might, where his trekking poles are, make that our kitchen area. We'll probably dig in our shelters over here, but we're gonna do a whole layer in so that we can make a path. We'll make our bathroom over there somewhere. Yeah, and I'll be sharing some L&T stuff for you guys as we go, because the bathroom is part of that. Yeah. Okay, we quickly ate some snacks because we need to refuel, because when you are winter camping, you are going to burn a lot more fuel, plus snowshoeing and everything, and the cold temperatures definitely take it out of you. You're just going to need more fuel. This is part of winter camping. So we ate some snacks, we put our layer back on since we're no longer pulling sleds and stuff. We're going to get cold, but you got to make sure you maintain that nice balance.
We'll monitor our layers.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm saying that also for the benefit of your crowd.
Oh, I was going to get to that. Greg wants to mention that technically you have to monitor your layers as you're doing your activity, because you might get warm again as you start digging for your shelter. You don't want to get too warm. The goal is to not be sweaty. No moisture. Keep a balance so that you don't sweat. That's the hardest thing. Greg has started digging his pit so we can get the kitchen going. Any tips on how to dig shelters, Greg?
really. In an ideal world, we'll have block snow so that we can just trim blocks and make a trench as we trim a block, and then set the blocks on either side of the trench, and then just tip them together for a roof. Just throw a bunch of loose snow on the top, and then we're done. And then we can make ourselves a little door, close off the far end, hollow it out a little bit on the sides to make it nice and spacious. If we can get down to the ground, that's nice. And we probably will. Here, we've only got about 3 feet of snow. That's the ideal. The second best is to cut yourself a trench and then go get a bunch of sticks and deadfall, ideally dead and down. We don't really want to pull off of standing timber, but I mean, you do what you need to. And then make a roof of that stuff, throw snow over top, and then hollow it out. You don't have nearly as much headroom if you do it that way. The worst case scenario is we got to build our own pile of snow. This is called a quincy, where you just build a big pile of snow and then hollow it out straight from there. You stick in sticks around the outside so that you know when you're too close to the edge, so you don't punch extra holes in your quincy when you're inside it. Those take a while because you got to build a pile of snow, let it sit for at least 2 hours to consolidate, and then you've got to go in there and dig it out.
So we won't be doing those ones today.
So ideally, yeah, I think we've got enough snow. We shouldn't need to do quincies. Yeah, that's about it. We'll see how it goes.
All right. And John has decided to start on ours over there. And yeah. Do you know what you're doing, John?
Just said, dig a trench.
So you don't want to dig the trench, you want to dig a pit. And then you want to take the loose snow off the top, and then you want to use your saw to cut a block.
Gotcha.
That's why I was going to watch Greg first before starting on ours.
So hopefully there's a consolidated layer I can make out of, I can use for blocks now.
And then you're kind of starting the tunnel?
Well, no, I'm not digging a tunnel per se,
Well, I mean like a path.
but I'm taking the loose snow off of the top, putting it on either side, and then I'm cutting a flat block instead of a vertical one out of the 6 inches, out of that top 6-inch layer.
Okay. I personally have never built a snow shelter before. When I was a kid, I watched my dad build a giant igloo on the farm in Illinois. That was cool. So I have a little bit of knowledge watching that. And then I do watch a lot of the Fjallraven winter camping things on YouTube. So this is my first attempt at a physical one, which is why we also have Greg, 'cause he knows how. Oh, also, big thank you for my friend Mark for letting me borrow his snow saw, and also borrowing another shovel from him because I only have my one little black diamond. Thank you, Mark. But I'm gonna see if I can make a block now. We'll find out. Okay, so break up. And he just went to the bottom?
No, you just take the first couple inches.
Yeah, could it be like a half block?
Yes, okay.
Maybe that'll work.
Okay, so we have been attempting to do the block method. Our snow conditions are not exactly ideal for that method. We are hitting some spots of snow that are just so soft it's not packable underneath certain like 6-inch depth that is packable. We've had so much temperature fluctuations that it's just doesn't make for great compounding snow. And you really do need certain conditions maintained in order to have shelters that you can build out of blocks and like igloo type stuff, because the snow needs to be cold. But because of our lovely global warming, we're getting fluctuations, thus the snow is not quite prime. We now have decided we're going to go to an alternate, the debris hut. So we're going to find fallen down trees, and we're going to take sticks and you put them across the top. I'll get footage of it. And then you put what blocks we can make on top of that and pack it down. Greg actually did pretty good with a couple of his blocks. Like you see at the very end, he got 2 of them to hold. So that was pretty nice. We've been trying to get the other ones, but not quite. So we're gonna make our lives easier and go get some debris and do debris huts. Yeah. 2 feet wide, shoulders width apart. And then you make sure you try to go down to the ground as much as you can, because it'll help you with the height. But you're going to find some debris. If you're doing LNT practices, you want to find stuff that's already dead, which is quite nice, because then we're also helping prevent fire issues later too. But you take them and you go across, as you can kind of see underneath, like this piece right here. It just goes across, and then you make snow blocks, and you place them on top of the sticks, and then you fill in with the rest of the snow. So we're almost there. Almost. I need another tiny block. Okay, we got snow shelters built. However, I feel bad. Greg and us, we had to swap. My shelter where we were digging ours, there wasn't quite enough snow to make it wide enough for 2 people. Where Greg was at, he had more snow. Literally, just a different like hop, skip, and a change to over there to there changes your depth of snow. So we traded snow huts. I feel a little bad. But now we've also, we're trying to get dinner cooked, and my stove isn't working. It should be. It has been inside, totally fine. It was taken care of. But apparently my O-rings are bad now on my Whisper Light. It's never done to one stove. Yeah. We're gonna lose sunlight soon, so we're quickly making dinner and putting on some more layers, and we'll see how the rest of the night goes. Check back in the morning. Hopefully not a popsicle. Good morning. We survived night 1. We're out and about, moving about. Greg has taken care of our stove maintenance so that both of our stoves should hopefully be working smoother tonight, and today we'll be able to boil water. Yeah. Whew. The huts are a little warmer than the outside because the snow is insulated. It's a little chilly outside. I need a sun patch. But so, like we talked about yesterday, snow conditions weren't exactly prime like we had hoped, but you know, it's getting there. So we're gonna snowshoe back to the cars today so we can get our tent and more fuel, because really for 2 people in a shelter you need more snow so you can get it wider. We don't have quite enough snow to make it wider, so it was definitely a snug fit in our cave last night, me and John. So our goal is to go back and get the tent. We're gonna dig down into the snow to make a good platform for ours, and then Greg can have his shelter back, because it'll be more spacious than the one I made yesterday.
Very good thing that we switched.
Yes, it was a very good thing that we switched last night, because Greg was in the one I made, and he said it was very snug. It would have been a little too snug for 2 people, so it's a good thing that we switched. Oh well. I'll get better with practice. But yeah, so that's our plan for the day. But now we're just warming up and eating breakfast and gonna get ready to go snowshoe the cars. Yeah. Well, okay. Change of plans. We were gonna snowshoe back to the car, get the tent and more fuel, stay second night. However, this has now turned into a other learning experience.
Your trail boss is telling you no.
My trail boss has told me no. I need a trail boss. I have a lot of experience, I do, but I'm still learning a lot of self-care stuff because I have been fighting some curveballs with health things. So having someone else here like Greg, who has a lot more experience, he does a lot of guiding stuff, takes out groups of people out, a lot more experience, much more better on the risk assessment and calls. So he has decided we are calling it. We are gonna pack up and we are gonna go back to the cars and call it. At least we got one night. I got to learn how to build a snow shelter. So I think that's a win. I'll get footage of it too before we leave so that you can see the inside. But I was feeling fine when I first got up, and then I started not feeling fine. I started getting nauseous, which nausea is a sign of you do not have enough salt and stuff, electrolytes in your system. I drank a lot of water. I kept up on my hydration. However, I don't think I didn't use enough electrolytes. I did recently just got told by my doctor that I have POTS. That is a blood level thing, but it can also affect you when it comes to electrolytes and how much extra consumption of salt and things you have to consume to help stay hydrated. So even on a daily basis now, when I'm not even working out, I'm still popping electrolytes to stay extra hydrated. So that's a battle I'm battling with. And I thought I had had enough between the days leading up to and yesterday, but I guess I didn't have quite enough. So Greg's been throwing Gorp at me, and I already got through one Nalgene with electrolytes. I'm gonna go through second one, but we're trying to get me to eat more salt. So we're trying to combat that. Because the reason that's important is that's also part of your body regulation for temperature control. If you are dehydrated, your body will struggle to regulate your temperature, which when you are winter camping can be dangerous because you got to stay on top of that. Layering is part of the game. Making sure you're in dry clothes is part of the game, but also just body temperature regulation is crucial. And that's why staying hydrated when you're winter camping is crucial. I'm not like super dehydrated. This isn't like the CDT heat exhaustion dehydration situation, luckily. That would have been bad. I haven't thrown up. Yay! But I am struggling a little bit. And so because of that, we're worried about my energy levels of making it through the night, because also diet. Diet is a whole thing too. I thought I consumed enough food yesterday to keep up with the energy I was burning, but I think I burnt more than I thought I did, and I did not eat enough. I meant to eat more in the middle of the night, but I fell back asleep. Brought a candy bar into my sleeping bag to warm it up, fell asleep, it melted. Pull it out of the bag to let it heat back up, or freeze back up, fell asleep again. So, yeah, I'm behind on food. I've been eating a lot more now. So Greg's been feeding me food. I'm just trying to keep it down. So, yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna call it because I'm already struggling with diet because of the Raynaud's and the POTS. And when you have health conditions, it gets a little trickier to learn things. So this is a full-on learning experience. I at least got to learn how to do sleds. I made sleds, yay! I got to learn how to do shelters, haha! At least one version of a shelter. And yeah. Oh, and I learned some winter L&T camping stuff. I'm gonna show you our path. When it comes to bathroom, all right. In the winter, things don't break down the same. So when you've got to poop, you have to dig all the way down to the ground. if you can, as much as you can. You're not gonna be able to dig into the ground to make a hole. The ground is frozen, it's not gonna happen. But you at least wanna get to the ground so you can poop on top of the ground, and then cover it with snow, and then as spring rolls around, it will like decompose a little bit, and it will get absorbed into the ground. However, you make sure you never ever leave toilet paper or anything like that out here, even biodegradable, because the winter makes it not break down the same. So, you do bring like a Ziploc to pack things out. If you remember from Anita, when we were doing the Trampas Lake, she was packing all that out. Well, in winter, I'm packing all that out, so I do have one of those. TP goes in it, everything goes in it. But, you do have a designated pee spot as well. I'm not gonna like show you the pee, but we tracked the path a good distance from camp. You have one single spot that everybody pees at. Because then when the spring rolls around and melts, it absorbs into it and breaks down a little bit better. You don't want multiple spots of yellow snow. One, it's not cool to anybody else around the area, but then it doesn't also like break down as well. So you, at least that's how Greg explained it. So you pee in one spot, all of you, have a designated spot. And then you dig deeper to make sure you have the poop hole, or poop pit. But yeah, so we have a path that goes all the way back. So we still have privacy, but then we're still following the LNT practices. Leave no trace practices, for those who aren't sure of LNT. Yay, acronyms, so many of them in the world. That way you can, you know, be good. And then you still have your other LNT practices, like don't leave trash, all that kind of stuff, the usual. We followed LNT practices while building the shelters. You don't want to cut any fresh live trees. We found dead, fallen stuff, or we helped cut off what you would call ladder fuel for fires. It's the dead branches at the bottom that catch fire and then travels up. So we use some of those as well, which is LNT practices too. Because you don't want to use any of the trees that are alive. But it doesn't hurt to help them alleviate some ladder fuel for those fires to help prevent more of climbing. So there were things that I learned. I learned how to make snow blocks. Yeah. First winter camping experience I think was a success. Downfall. Didn't get to do it for second night, but I learned things. So that's a win. Yeah. Do I wish I felt better? Yeah. The hardest thing for people to learn is self-care. And self-care is also one of the most crucial things to maintain when you're out here doing this kind of stuff. Because you gotta make sure your hydration level stays right, your calorie consumption stays right. I have to work on dietitian type stuff or dietary things, like I did not pack enough fat. I thought I packed enough protein. Turns out I grabbed the wrong protein. I grabbed things that were more fatty, didn't bring enough of the actual protein. Should have brought jerky. Didn't bring the jerky. That was a fail. I always bring jerky, but I didn't this trip. CJ. But like I said, it's crucial. And that's one of the hardest things for people to learn. And so that's where I am at. I've gotten the gear down. I'm learning the other stuff. It's the self-care and regulation. That's going to be the hardest for me because of health things. Some people it's a little easier. I pulled some short sticks. Oh well. There's always next winter. I've got time to practice and perfect. Yes. Plus next winter we're hoping to go actually above tree line. So it'll be packs instead of sleds and a whole other can of worms. But yeah, all right. We are gonna pack it up and then hike on out. Yeah.
Check out this tree.
Yep.
You see the
A bunny came to investigate our pea spot. So before we leave, since we've packed up now, is my awesomeness. wait, what?
The bunny that came to inspect our putty tree, it left in peace.
Greg never fails for the good dad jokes. I gotta lie, like when we were doing the Trampas, I think one of my favorite lines from that film was, "Now Nita, we gotta be careful about these trails. Cause you know why, right? Cause you could break them." That was great. So before we take off though, we're getting distracted. We're gonna show you the inside of this, the snow huts that we built, because I didn't get to show you that yesterday. But Greg wants to lead the way.
So here on CJ's right is Shea Gregg, built last night for and expanded out for 2-person occupancy. Plenty of headroom, got to be a little bit careful of sidewalls. Nice and level, so you stay in there. And with the sled, the door closes perfectly.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was cozy with 2 people in it last night.
It was actually pretty good. At one point, I woke up middle of the night and I had to like pee in a pee Nalgene.
Yes, I said a pee in Nalgene. Really helpful when you're winter camping to just pee in an Nalgene versus getting out of your shelter.
I mean, there is something to be said for the obligatory midnight pee run and just your boot liners and your long underwear.
I didn't want to do I didn't want to do the pee run. But it was warm enough in the hut that I was able to get out and it wasn't like chilly while doing my Nalgene business. So the snow is insulative. And that's part of why it stays a little bit warmer. And since there was 2 of us in there, it definitely heated up. But it didn't heat up to the point where it was going to melt on us, which was nice. We did have, Greg left a little air hole in the back for ventilation. Kind of like in a tent, you want ventilation so that you don't get too much condensation inside. But it was very nice. I rather enjoyed it. My shelter, however, although Greg was lovely enough to take our shelter because, like I said, it didn't end up being big enough. We need more snow. This global warming nonsense needs to stop.
So this is Shea Candace.
Shea Candace, or say CJ.
And a little low on the ceiling there. There's one spot you can sit up. Also a little slopey, so it benefits from putting your pack down the door so you don't slide right out. A little chilly, mostly because you need a better door. But habitable for 1 person.
I accidentally made the doorway too wide.
But this was the one that I made. It's a little darker inside. I forgot to leave air holes for ventilation. But yeah, it was my first attempt at making a snow shelter ever. So for my first ever made shelter, you know, it wasn't bad.
Now I know to try and find, well, John and I now know to find a little flatter ground if we can. We can find deeper snow, even better, because then you can make it taller, so you can sit up better. And if we had more snow that was consistently deep, we could have made it a little bit wider, better for 2 people. Snow conditions, all about the snow conditions. And now I know how to make ice blocks and pack it all in. Yeah.
We'll let you do the planning next time.
Let me pick the spot.
Yeah. I'm not one for planning. I just show up and look pretty.
And I'm the one who overplans a lot. And I wanted to give him the freedom of choice of what spot to choose because there were 2 spots and I was thinking about doing another one on the side of Greg's. But I let John choose and he chose over here. Well, now we know it wasn't as deep as snow. So, hindsight, 2020. But hey, we learned. Yeah. All right. Time for us to drop some layers so we don't overheat while hiking out. And
It would have been deep enough if it wasn't on the hillside.
True. If it wasn't on the hillside, it probably would have been better. But
It's deceptive.
it is very deceptive. But it's been lovely. Minus getting a little sick. It's been a good time. Yeah.
You get to walk up the hill, and then you get to walk back down the hill.
With snowshoes, yes.
Whereas with skiing, you only have to walk one way.
That's fair. That's very fair.
He's bragging about his ski options because he can just go down the hill.
Also why I tell people, particularly at the player we shall not name, that snowshoeing is suspiciously like walking.
Snowshoeing is suspiciously like walking. All right, we made it back to the trailhead. Yes, yes. Everything's still intact and all hunky-dory. Yes. Now, granted, we didn't do 2 nights, but this is a learning trip. This, for me, is trial and error, learning things to prep for bigger things in the future. And so this is all about learning. We got the gear pretty much down. I was nice and toasty last night in my gear, so that's good. I just got to get a better handle of the self-care part.
And the food.
And the food. We think that I might have just not kept up with my intake yesterday as much as I thought I was when I was building snow shelters.
It sneaks up on you. It really, really does.
It really does sneak up on you.
Yeah.
Greg has lots more experience than I do, which is also part of why I asked him to come with me for this trip, because I trust him and his knowledge, and he's an amazing teacher. And so, yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't discuss food and food planning before the trip, and that was a mistake.
We meant to, and then
Yeah, it never
we got
happened.
busy.
So, you know, it's worth a debrief at some point when you know, a little after the fact, emotions are cool, because I mean, so we're back a day early. Oh well.
Yeah.
We'll go have fun. We'll probably hit up Wyoming tomorrow and make some
snowboarding
tracks
and
down down a hill and
Yeah.
have
Because
our
we got
butts
time
all
off,
pooped
we
out this
might
time.
as well take advantage of the vacation time.
Yeah, so you know, and the mountains are still here. Hopefully the snow will be here next year so that we can try this again.
Exactly.
And, yeah, but no, it happens. It sneaks up on you. You know, CJ, I don't know how much she goes into her thing with you guys, but it can happen to anybody and does happen to anybody and has happened to me. So,
It happens.
so
He did have a good tip for me that I will have to try. Ramen.
yeah, ramen, it's like magic. It's not your meal, it's your appetizer. But particularly when it's cold out, particularly if it's high elevation, you take like the flavor of ramen you like best, you cook it up, you scarf it down, and suddenly you're just better. And then you can, you know, then you've got
Your main meal.
recovery from your projectile puking that you just did a half hour ago, and you're feeling good, and then you can actually look your meat and potatoes in the face and be like, yes, steak. So yeah, ramen, it's magic.
It's awesome because it gives you
Your warmth, it gives you salt, lots of salt in the ramen.
Oh yeah, it does. Don't do that daily.
Don't do that daily. That's a recovery thing. Like, if you can't eat, that is why it is your appetizer to help you recover, but it's not something you have to do daily. It's a lot of salt. Don't do it daily. But yeah, we made it back. Like I said, it's a learning. Trial and error. Learning it so that when we do have to go into like the legitimate life or death adventures, we are more prepared. But we gotta start somewhere, right? Starting here.
What did you think of your first winter camping experience?
It was cold.
It was cold.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was fun building the shelters.
What did you think of sleeping in the shelter?
It wasn't too bad, actually.
Yeah.
It was warmer than I thought, but I think I would rather have a tent.
Anybody want an apple?
No, thank you.
I'm good. But yeah, now I'm back home and let you plot out the next one of these that we do.
Yeah.
But we all have our vacation time still, so we're gonna take advantage of it. We're gonna head back home, and then tomorrow we'll just go snowboarding and skiing. Cause might as well. Got time off? Take it. It's crucial. Work-life balance. You must enjoy your time off. I just love winter. And
wow.
I'm excited I got to do this.
I don't remember
Oh. Oh. If you have any questions about gear or anything, you know, go ahead and hit me up below. If you want to know what kind of gear I had for this, go ahead and let me know and I'll find a way to get you the information if you want to know. But yeah, if you liked the video, hit the like button. And if you aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and follow along for more adventures because as always, there will be more. I promise. And until the next one, you guys have a good one. Later.